like a maroon.
Okay, I think I found one that sounds good.
Oh, okay.
All right, this one's brand new. I've never seen it before. And it says Venus Stewart lived in Colon Township, Michigan. When she disappeared back in 2010, all eyes turned towards her soon-to-be ex-husband, who lived in Virginia. However, his alibi was solid as a rock, and he was caught on CCTV 100 miles away. Or was he? I'm like, did they send a dupe? I'll send it to you on Discord.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
This is so fun.
Yeah, this is so much fun. Someone donated and said it feels like it's like a slumber party, and we're just watching
literally
crime docs
just
together.
girls watching true crime.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
And welcome. My name is Mike, and in this whole video, we're going straight to the top of a list of places I cover stories from, or at least like very close. It's got to be at this stage, and that's Michigan. Let me ask you something. What would you do for an Xbox? Probably, hand over a couple of $100, but in this one, well, a little bit more than that. Some people are mad about it though. You're just so mad about it that when they start, talking, maybe talking a little shite to somebody online, they start talking about something else. Like maybe, just maybe, could you help me out on a little, like, something? Just take a second. Something along those lines anyway. It'll make more sense when I tell you this story. So let's give it a go.
Give it
All
a
right,
game.
Mike, hit us.
Let's go.
So we're going straight to the township of Colon. Colon? Whatever it's called.
Colon Township.
Okay, no, Colon.
Colon.
Alright, well, we'll keep this serious. Colon, anyway, it's in the ass end of Michigan. Sorry, just let me have that one. And what can I say, about good old Colon that hasn't been said before? Literally anything. It has a population of about 3,500. Was named Colon because apparently, when naming the town, folk pulled out a dictionary and the first thing they saw was a colon. What kind of dictionary did they have? Okay, stop. Me. There are 3 lakes in the area, one called Long, cause, well, Another called Sturgeon, no idea why. And a third in Colon, called Palmer, and I genuinely have no idea. Okay, I really should stop making fun of the places I talk about. Anyway, okay, let's move on. In Colon Township lived human beings, and some of them went by the surname McComb. Specifically, Therese and Larry.
Mike's getting us to the story.
Therese and Larry had a daughter named Venus. She was the youngest.
Venus.
And Venus was
Now I'm
married
all
to a
strapped
guy
in.
named Doug Stewart. Dougie Stew, I like to call him. Doug and Venus had been married for roughly 8 years in 2010. They married an entire 4 days after their first date. I think it takes more time than that for a Big Mac to move through Colon Township. This was a big surprise to her parents, but hey, not really much you can do about it now, so launch it. Doug actually got on really well with Venus's older brother, Dustin. They would go out hunting and fishing, all that jazz together, so that's something. Venus, she worked in a bank. She had a degree in criminal justice. She actually studied that because she wanted to become a cop, funnily enough. She later found out she hated guns, so that put an end to that. Doug had been a Marine, leaving for his wife. Venus, she didn't want her husband, running towards the gunfire. And after leaving the service, Doug went on to work in the fast food industry. After being married for a year, Baba number 1 arrived, followed a couple of years after by numero 2, also a girl. Not long after, Doug packed it
do
in.
you use
Venus,
captions?
she
The
earned
captions are
more
pretty accurate
working
for
at a
this
bank,
video.
I do.
So
I love captions.
Daddy Doug
I
became
need it. My ADHD.
Daddy O-Doug. He'd raise his 2 girls, chill, and he was actually, get a load of this. What are the odds that a guy in his late 20s would be crazy about Xbox?
Like, how crazy?
What is this? Oh my god, is this actually, I think this is actually
He
him.
became
That's
quite
him?
addicted to it, especially Xbox Live, COD.
Yeah, so quick pause really quick, sorry. Just so you know too, I just found this out from my channel too. Anything that's public records, so a state like Pennsylvania, Florida or something like that, we're able to like request any files that were sent to the police department. So you can send them a request for interrogation, mugshot photos, home videos, personal videos, all that kind of stuff.
What?
So yeah. So when Mike is putting together videos like this, or when we put together our streams, we might send out a request to the police department for all materials. Like there's like a little template for it and everything. And so we can get crazy stuff like that. That's probably like actually him. Like I did this reptilian humanoid YouTube cult murder the other day, and I was trying to get the footage.
I'm sorry,
for it,
hold on. Reptilian something cult? What?
Yeah, it was
reptilian?
Reptilian humanoid cult murder. It was. We'll talk about it sometime.
Okay,
it's
okay.
a doozy. But I had to request that stuff because I found out that there were YouTube videos of it, and they got taken down, obviously. But if you go to the police departments, you can get
they
it.
They have the videos.
Yes. So that was probably actually his Xbox Live stuff because it's evidence. Like, yeah. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Call of Duty. He was a little immature.
That's not
he
evidence.
Wouldn't get off the darn thing.
Yeah, that was just
so
a meme.
after time, what happened time and time again happened this time. Doug and Venus would separate. Venus actually wanted to get the heck out of Michigan. She wanted to start fresh, and well, hey, let's give the marriage one more try. They eventually moved to a place called Newport News, Virginia. Doug, he went back to work. He was a truck driver. And usually, you know, most people are kind of full of shit when they say, let's start again fresh, but this time it was actually legit. Things were better than ever, until they weren't. Of course not. After living in Newport News for roughly a year, Doug got some news himself. Venus was up and at him, taking the kids back to Michigan. She actually just left in the middle of the night. Doug tried to call her, nothing.
No,
He actually went to report her missing.
That is, women, we don't do that.
Until the police said, yeah, she's been here, and she's gone.
Huh.
In February 2010, she moved back to Colin Township, to her parents' house. Doug was to stay in Virginia.
Wait, really?
Wait, they just split for no reason?
Was it real?
And that,
well,
as they say, was that. Dougie Stew, smell you later. On the 26th of April 2010, Venus and her 2 daughters were getting up, groggily up, you know, for another Monday morning. Monday again. Therese was already at work, Larry was sawing wood, and Venus was packing lunch for her girls. Larry then began to be, you know, rudely, if you ask me, awoken by Venus's 2 daughters. They were yelling and shit, they were just playing. So he got up, went downstairs, and was like, where's your mother? He found her purse, he found her keys. He just didn't find her. Her car was still there. The 2 girls had no idea. He walked around the house, he looked through the garden, everywhere, and she was nowhere to be found.
What?
I don't know, the window's open.
One thing he did notice, though, was that on the gravel, on the drive, it was all messed up. Like there had been a struggle. Someone was bracing their feet and that sort of stuff. Nobody heard anything, though. She just vanished. Also on the ground was a pink hair tie and the packaging of a blue tarp. But no blue tarp. It was
tarp? That's not good.
Not a tarp!
That's not good.
She's just not there? Yeah. Is there a vehicle missing or anything?
I've requested a 911 call before it was cool.
What?
Really? She is gone. Okay. Have you tried calling her or anything? Yeah, we can't get hold of her.
The police arrived and started going through the scene. On the packaging, they discovered a fingerprint, but it would take them a while to determine whose it was. And the first thing Larry said to them was, a few days prior to the 26th of April, dun 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 dun, Venus had gained full custody of their children.
Dude, custody.
But she's gone.
Woman mystery in St. Joseph County continuing at this hour. Venus Stewart disappeared Monday, evidence of a struggle on the
custody
scene.
battles
No
will drive people crazy because they see their children as their possession, their ultimate possession.
Now and today, 24-hour News 8's Jessica Leffler was there as police searched for clues.
Now, Doug, of course, he still lived in Virginia, which is a bit of a trek away. So police were calling Doug all day, finally getting through to him that night. And where were you today? He was at Newport News all day. He was a few blocks from his place, and he gave the police a full itinerary of when and where he had been all day, and he never left. They followed up with this, spoke with people at the places he had been, and yeah, he had been in Newport News. Witnesses, CCTV confirmed it. He was
must have
seen
hired
walking
someone.
through his apartment building, driving around in his car. He'd
I've
popped
never
by
seen
his
this
lawyer's
before.
office, and they said, yeah,
I've
Doug
never
was
seen
here.
anyone do that before.
The search
But
then
that looks so
began. It was
sus. He had a
weird.
hood
I
on
mean,
and his head was
numero
down. Come
uno
on.
persono was about 11 hours away. Apparently, she vanished at a strange time. It looked like she had just gone out to check the mailbox, and then nothing. There were signs of a struggle, but no screams or anything. Just a weird scenario, to be honest.
Again, Douglas Stewart is considered a person of interest in this case. Officers located him in the Virginia town where he lives days after the disappearance and say that his alibi is solid. And he also says that he hopes his wife is found safely.
I don't know. I pray for my children every night. I pray for their mother, and I pray for the McComb family that they get some truth on this, and we can figure out where Venus is. And now that the timeline has gone so far, yeah, I'm getting very worried and very concerned. I still care about her very much, and to be told that you could be involved in something of this nature it's repulsive.
They started looking at other dangers. A mysterious mustachioed madman on the loose was a possibility.
Now police are looking for this man. Two witnesses
Who
spotted
is
him
that?
at nearby Adams Lake the night before Stewart disappeared. He was wet and approached the witnesses for a cigarette.
I mean, right now with this case, we have so few
Is it him?
clues to go on.
No!
We're not going to discount anything.
But the possibility they were
That's
focusing
quite
on
a
was the one
description.
we all would
The
be focusing on.
mustache.
The
He was wet
soon-to-be
and approached
ex-husband.
for a cigarette?
They
What?
searched his place in Virginia, they interviewed him, seized his computers, checked his bank account transactions, his truck, they had a go. Nothing. Except for a receipt they found in the backseat. His car was a fucking pigsty. And the receipt was for shovel, gloves, tarp, and a hat.
Oh my,
And these
typical.
were in
no.
Walmart, not
Typical.
in Virginia,
You're
but in
kidding
Ohio,
me.
about 2 hours from Colin Township. Bought the day before she
These
disappeared.
killers are idiots.
He was still in
Oh my
Newport.
god, it had a
Newport, though.
timestamp on it too?
Or was he? I mean, people said that he was there. They saw him. He was there. He'd walked in. The receptionist said, yes, he came in. We talked to him. He paid money. They had, a bank transfer for child custody stuff. It's like he was here. This was such a weird kink.
Come on, dog. Where is she? Where's Venus? Come on, dog. Yeah, you're a disgrace to the Marines, buddy. Yes, you are.
Shovel and a
Sneers
tarp.
and jabs
And a
from
hat.
a riled up
Dude.
crowd tonight, their anger directed at Doug Stewart, the only person of interest in his wife Venus's disappearance. Stewart in court today for a custody hearing.
And in the meantime, Doug wanted his girls back. He was telling everybody that Venus, she had done a legger. She was off. She had run out on him in Newport News, and now she was off again. Around this time, Venus's dad found her journal. Marriage was worse than they thought.
Tensions mounting as a note left behind by Venus Stewart is discovered in her
What?
home.
I need to
that
request
paper
those.
containing disturbing details of abuse.
Her father gave 24-hour News 8 a copy of handwritten notes detailing allegations of molestation against Doug Stewart, Venus's estranged husband, involving one of their daughters. Those allegations also
That's why
detailed
she
in a police
well,
report
she
from
didn't really leave
Schoolcraft
abruptly.
Police. An investigation launched in February 2010 when one of the Stewart children claimed their father had the child touch him inappropriately.
Oh no.
So, maybe somebody covering for Doug? Or was he in cahoots? The workers at the law office were re-interviewed by the police again. They were like, can you just a bit more detail about who came in? Let's say if it wasn't Doug, who was it? How would you describe him? In detail. And they said, yeah, a guy came in, looked like Doug. He had a hat on. His hood was up. He had shades
know
on.
how he
He looked
hired
pretty
somebody
cool.
to do that.
Was it
What
this
Yeah,
guy?
he must have got someone to
Yeah, it
pretend to
could've
be
been
him.
him. Police are pretty sure it wasn't Doug that came in. So who was it? They looked into Doug's phone records, and what they found was that he had been having quite a few heart-to-hearts with a phone located in Delaware. A phone owned by a guy named Ricky Spencer.
Oh my
Ricky was a kid in college, living at home with his parents. Not a ruffian at all. So how did this link? What did he have to do with Doug? What was their relationship?
He probably paid him 500
they
bucks.
Thought they'd ask.
Fucking brand! What the hell is with your voice? Your mom voice!
Scared of Xbox Live chats. I'm like, what's gonna be in this?
Yeah, I beat
It's been 2 seconds and I already heard your mom joke.
Your Xbox Live. Your Xbox Live.
Oh my god. Wait,
Seemed that
him on
Doug still had his love of gaming.
Xbox murder!
Crack on a few matches with the lads, and that's how Doug and Ricky met on Xbox Live. They had known each other for about 9 months, and they met in person, in fact, on the 1st of April 2010. Doug then began to, slowly but surely, introduce the idea to Ricky that Venus, his soon-to-be ex-wife, was dangerous. She was a danger to their children. She was a crazy person, and that he needed to save his kids. The courts had already denied him custody, he said, so he needed to go above the law. And he needed someone to cover for him. We're about the same body size, right? Searching Ricky's phone history, it had mysteriously been off all of April 26th.
How convenient.
Except for one moment when it pinged near Doug's apartment. They eventually cracked this kid without too much difficulty at all.
Free to leave anytime, okay? We just, we know you got some info that can help us out with something we're working on, alright?
Somebody was down there portraying themselves to be Doug during this time that he was up in Michigan. Doug wanted somebody to be down there to pretend like he was him while he was up in Michigan, obviously to create an alibi. So there's kind of two types of scenarios that we're looking at here, and this is why we kind of need your help. Okay.
Ooh, can we pause really quick?
Yes.
Sorry, my
Yes,
crime
yes.
interjections. Okay, so we have good interrogators. Instead of sitting him down and saying, hey, where were you at this time? What is your relationship with Doug? They set the scene and they just say, hey, we knew somebody was down there impersonating Doug. And so they start from that jumping point. Like, they don't even give him any time to make up any other stories. It's just, this is
like
where it
he
is.
feels caught already, probably.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
And you just kind of got caught up in something you realized after the fact, whoa, this is way over my head. I don't want any part of doing this anymore.
Wait, me helping him?
Give him the
I
out.
don't think you helped him in this.
I didn't do anything.
Did he tell you he was going to kill her before this happened, before you went down there? Did he ever tell you that? Or abduct her? Did he say anything about that?
Rat him out!
I didn't take care of business up in Michigan.
Okay. When you got there, when you went there on the 25th, you knew he was going to head up there at that point to do whatever he was going to do, correct? And finish her off, how you put it?
If he was gonna finish her off, or maybe he like decided I can't do this, I'm just gonna hide her away.
What did he say he was going to do when you met with him there on the 25th to get the phones and everything?
To get rid of her.
Okay. Did he say get rid of her? What's the exact terms he used?
Just like, I'm just gonna get rid of her.
Take your plea deal, man.
Mostly positive. That's what he said.
Like, what did you take
Mostly
that to be?
positive.
That he was going to do what?
Probably finish her off.
Okay, he knew. The kid knew.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was it, really. Doug was arrested. Police believed she had been murdered, and Doug was charged with that murder.
Now behind bars for nearly 48 hours, Doug Stewart arrested for the murder of his wife, Venus.
Venus disappeared nearly 2 months ago from her parents' Colin Township home.
Today,
He went on trial a year
I can't
later.
believe he got somebody to impersonate him.
Yeah.
What?
It's much easier to try a homicide case with a body. However, I believe that the investigation has given us enough to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he is in fact the person and that she is in fact deceased.
He pled not guilty. On the 25th of April, Doug walked into Walmart about 2 hours from where Venus lived and picked up a few bits and bobs, you know yourself.
A shovel.
He also bought a disposable
A
phone,
tarp,
which, because he
and
bought
left
using
the
his
receipt
credit
in the
card, it was
back.
able to be traced.
How stupid.
And it told a story that I
dumb.
think we all know. Finally, the fingerprint found on the packaging outside Venus's home, it was
He
Doug's.
left the wrapper out
Ricky
there.
Spencer would take the stand.
He probably was so
almost
cocky he
destroyed.
thought he got away with
I
it.
met him on Xbox
'Cause he had, like, a duo.
December of 08.
How often did you play Xbox Live with Mr. Stewart?
Anywhere from 6 to 10 hours.
A day?
Yeah, on a daily basis.
Would you say he was your best friend?
Oh, yes. He called us brothers from another mother. Brothers from another mother.
Essentially, they would play together all the time. They would become best buds, you know, for months and months and months, until they met up in person on the 1st of April. They went to Busch Gardens. Doug seduced Ricky with Budweiser. And he would tell Ricky, listen, my soon-to-be ex-wife, she's a real bitch.
He kind of groomed him into murder.
Yeah.
Or just at least being a part of it. Oh, God.
Telling me that he was gonna go kill his wife.
When he was telling you this, what were you thinking?
Did you say, did you call anybody?
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Okay.
He said, this is where I want you to come in, Ricky. I want you to be my alibi. Just pretend to be me and live in my apartment. And he jumped out and he said that there was a scream. She screamed once.
The spa music in the background is so ridiculous.
But he was able to get in that.
You didn't even notice that.
That lock.
Yeah,
and,
why is this happening?
A drop of blood came from her nose. And that was it. I asked him if it was worth it, and he said it was, to protect his kids and give them some type of future.
Huh? Oh no.
And he told me that.
Yo, honestly though,
he was gonna call me later because he was gonna go
go
what?
Oh, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
He got wrapped up in this.
It's a barrier.
Oh. You know what? Good on him though for laying it all out though. He's laying everything out. We
I just
love that.
wonder like
Ricky
how
an
much trouble he got
itinerary for the
into.
day. So
Yeah,
he
me
would be
too.
him, and he told Ricky he would choke
he had to
Venus
get a
using
charge.
his
Oh, for
military
sure.
experience.
Because he
Ricky
knew
used
and he
Doug's
didn't
credit
tell.
card to buy
it's
stuff, so it
conspiracy.
would look like Doug was still in Newport. He wore Doug's clothes. He drove Doug's car, and that was that.
Oh, honey, you're an accomplice.
Oh, that's so sad.
Members of the jury find Douglas Harry Stewart as to count one.
This guy looks so
guilty of
normal.
First-degree premeditated murder.
Doug Stewart was sentenced to life in prison without parole, though he continued to protest his innocence. Ricky pled guilty to conspiracy to commit manslaughter and got a year due to his cooperation.
Okay, a year.
Okay. You know, okay.
But
he got
they
caught
still
up.
had no Venus.
He spilled the beans later,
Her
but he
family
should
and
have spilled them
friends continued
before
to
he
hunt
knew.
for
Otherwise, she
remains
wouldn't be
in
dead.
the woods
Yeah.
surrounding Colin Township, searching through the lakes, trying to find anything that would lead them to her.
Yeah, where is she?
And they found jack shit. At one point, Doug's parents,
He looks
they
so
began
much
tearing
scarier with
down
that
missing
beard.
posters for Venus, as they believed their son innocent.
Why are you taking those down? Give them back to me. Give them back.
I wanted to tell you, we saw Doug.
Oh my God.
He's doing great.
Murdering?
Is better in his life.
Oh, in prison? It does good for
And
him,
he's
huh?
really sorry about what's happening with the posters, and he hopes you find her.
Oh, that was good.
He did. Said he hopes you find her. And you know what? He said
That's disgusting.
He put the pressure on Ricky if you want to find anything.
Here, they gotta take this one down yet.
They didn't think Venus was dead. They believed their son that she had run away, and they didn't think he was capable of killing her. In their opinion, if anything did happen to Venus, the person to talk to would be Ricky Spencer. You know, the kid who broke down on the stand.
Wow.
Why don't you just give me those back? Why are you taking those posters down of Venus?
Why didn't you listen to the letter that was sent out? If you want to know more about this, you need to go talk to Ricky. Ricky's the one you need to talk to.
Mr. Stewart, please.
Leave
No, you
Ricky
put up
alone.
all
Let
these
him do his
fancy
weird.
signs.
What We're not nasty. We want to find
When you
Venus
put up the signs
for your granddaughters.
when you put up the signs of the pictures of Venus, we left them up for months and months and months.
We
Now
haven't.
you put up signs about murderous and stuff
Look,
like that.
Mr. Stewart, Doug was convicted.
Hey, just go ahead, put them up. We'll take
Mr.
them down.
Stewart, Doug was convicted.
No, we did. We went down. We talked.
He was convicted.
No.
We don't want to fight with you.
If you had put up a couple
This is
of
so
those-
We will
sad.
not fight with you.
Yeah.
I feel bad for his parents.
Once
Because
would
they
go
think
by
he's
Imagine
innocent.
validating
Pleading with
somebody's
Doug to
daughter's
tell
murder because you
nothing,
just don't
nada.
want to deal with your kid.
He just was not
Yeah.
interested.
But it's so thick right
So
now.
sad.
We could go over the graveside and not know it. So that's the problem we have also.
More and more time went by. Doug was constantly being asked, wouldn't say anything. He would appeal until he had no more appeals left in him. In 2018, they went back to him one more time.
Does
The
he
police
confess?
asked him to tell them where she was buried.
Ew, sorry.
He said he would. But I got stuff I need. If I knew where she was, of course. Top of the list, an Xbox. It's like coming full circle. All
He just
around,
wants an
all on
Xbox?
Why do you think right here?
Oh my god. He was an Xbox addict. 6 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's either there or there. Okay. 30 to 35 feet in from the
Did they really give him the Xbox? Because he's showing them weird.
Imagine they give him an Xbox but like no
Walked
games.
right in through here and everything. There was so many stumps, trees, and debris.
And no context and no internet, no Xbox
No internet,
Live.
just the console.
This was the open.
Just have a look at it. No cord, no power cable.
Right, 8 years, but I'm about 90% right here. Because as you look back,
They give him an Xbox with a red ring.
there's kind of a
The
weird
red
trail
ring of
coming
death.
back here to begin with. There's kind of a partially broken trail. Yeah. And when I got back here, I was like, man, this is way too much. There's way too much rocks over there. There's no way. And then when I looked over here, there's so much foliage. There's no way. And right in between it was a random open spot.
This is
He
so
did,
weird how
finally,
he's just...
8 years after, take them to Venus.
Wow.
All for an Xbox.
founder.
He told them that morning he drove up, parked outside, he called
He
her.
looks so
she
innocent.
came out and he
and
knocked
just-
her out, putting her in his car. He then drove to the woods, and when she woke up, he stabbed her to death. It was all for the kids. He then buried her out in the woods. Venus finally went home.
I couldn't handle it. It got to the point where I thought I was never going to see my children again. I was going to lose them, and I just couldn't see another way out.
I assume that you regret this.
Oh, more than you could
sir?
ever know. This was single-handedly the worst thing that I could and will ever do in my entire life.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying
There
it. Because
wasn't
remember,
more
they
than
said
1
he's still
second
trying to
passed
appeal.
from the time in which I committed the crime, but I did not regret it.
He regrets it because he got caught.
Yeah.
These people are so
A
stupid.
twisted plot plan. Let's bring it up from video games. I mean, Ricky, come on, this is like basic shit. Probably you just want to, be a bit more careful about who you talk to online. It's like 101. To answer the question I posed at the beginning of the video, I think, we know the answer to what old Dougie Stew would do for an Xbox. Give a heartbroken family some closure for an Xbox. And he still demanded too high a price. As we wrap this one up, I think the main takeaway we can tell from this old one is that, it's better just to yap away, continue verbally abusing each other when you're playing online video games. Talking about each other's mothers and so on and so forth.
Just play your video
Because
games.
It's better to stay talking about that because it can get a lot worse.
Wow.
Oh, dude, that was good. The other ones that I have for us next, though, they're like, I gotta tell you a little bit of story time stuff.
Okay.
But I was just getting into the vibe of the cozy stream. Like I was just kicked back watching this, dude.
I mean, all of this is cozy, entertaining for me.
Really?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.